I'm in the truck, trailer's hooked up. I'm headed down to New Hampshire area. I gotta go down to Golden Engine Services. Why do my ears look huge, dude? My ears are bulging. Gotta head down to Golden Engine Services to pick up 2 engines for my buddy Max. We got 2 big projects with those going on. Well, one really big project with 1 engine, and one's kind of going in like a loaner demo rental kind of car. But anyway, once I pick up the engines, then I have to go another 15 minutes over to Brett's and pick up his Boost Assault that's gonna get some, whoa, brother, hot dogging. Go pick up Brett's Assault and do some reed manifold and pedals and whatnot on that thing and get that knocked out. I've got 2 boosts to do this week with reed manifolds and pedals, so got a good box of Indy specialty goodies at the shop ready to go in those things, and yeah. Going into Golden. I don't know where to park, so I'm just gonna go here. We got the 1 engine, the 416 stroker for the S13. Thing made 580 at the crank on their engine dyno, which is super healthy for having a stock LS3 intake manifold on it. That thing's strapped in. I'm about to leave here and head over to Brett's to pick up his Boost Assault, and yeah, we'll pick it back up when we get over there. Put the belt on, dude, before I get clapped trying to pull out of here. Just leaving Brett's place, got his Boost Assault in the back in the trailer there, all tied down, ready to go home. Well, not home, go back to the shop, you know. But yeah, what a guy, great guy. We just chatted for, at least an hour, just shooting the shit. Turns out this sled is one that another guy I know bought that he sold to a different friend. Either way, I know where the sled came from, I know who had it. Super cool little situation. Yeah, I'm at a Clem's family store, or Clem's something or other, big fuel depot, and apparently they got great chicken tendies, so I'm gonna go find that out. All right, we got some nuggets, we got some mozzarella sticks, white Monsty. Worth mentioning, if anyone's in this Londonderry area and you have this Clem's place, the dude at the chicken place, killer, great attitude, super friendly, awesome guy. You know, you get that one dude, you go in a store and they're just like super happy and vibrant, and it just kind of makes your current situation and day better. Even if you're not even having a bad day, you just encounter those people where you're like, damn, that dude's positivity just made my day better. So that was that dude in there, chicken place. I didn't even look at his name tag, completely forgot to. But yeah, if you're near this place, check it out. I hope you can kind of see it. Clem's family store in Londonderry. There you go. I don't know what brand mozzarella stick it is that are these, but anytime I see these in a store, like their menu picture has these bad boys, these are the best ones out there. I'm sure they're from a Cisco truck or whatever, but those things slap. Absolutely slap. Very similar nugget to McDonald's, but a little bit crispier, which is nice. It's a bonus. I feel like the texture and whatever meat is in here is the same as the McDonald's ones. These are just crisped up a little bit. No complaints, can't complain about that. I don't normally go way out of, state to go pick up sleds and stuff like that, but it worked out to where I had to go to Golden anyway to get a couple engines. Brett was 15 minutes away, so it was easy to shoot over and pick that up and get 2 birds stoned at once. So, moving on, gonna start blowing this thing apart and get those reeds swapped. This thing is super clean and spotless. Brett maintains the hell out of this thing, so I gotta do my part and keep it clean and take my time and make sure everything goes back together exactly how it was. Come on. first I've seen this on this one. I already pushed it back in some of the way, but this orange seal wanted to stay in the ECU a little bit. So when you're pulling these things apart, just, make sure your seals are in straight, and that way when you go back together, you don't miss it and try to jam that back in there with the seal all bunched up. So I'm gonna take a little screwdriver, make sure that seal's seated in all the way, same with the other one. And yeah, just something to keep your eye on when you're pulling things apart. When you get to pulling the air box out, undo the clamps that hold the boot to the box itself. That comes out a lot easier than the throttle body side ones. The throttle body side ones kind of end up not necessarily corroding, but they end up kind of bonding themselves on there, and they're kind of difficult to get off. They've got a pretty good set of ridges in there that lock right into the throttle body itself. So getting it out can be really tricky if they don't want to come off of there. And then you also have this boot sticking off of the air box to deal with getting out. So undo the rubber boot from the box, and then the box will pop right out of there and come out pretty good. This coupler up here for the turbo to the box, you end up just having to really pry on it and kind of turn it, twist it, and pull it up out of there. It'll come out. Takes some force, but it comes up on out of there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you get the box out, you can go ahead and remove these boots here. I'll show you, they've got, they lock in pretty good down there. And then when I put them back together, I end up taking the red scuff pad and I clean most of that corrosion out. And then a real light bit of grease just on this outside ring, not inside on the seat, just on this outside taper here. So that way when you're fishing the box back in, they do slide right on. And then when I do put the box in, I do have the boot attached to the box, and it does go down in through here with the wiring and stuff. It's definitely a little bit tighter, but it does go through. And then that little bit of grease helps these just make that bend right onto the throttle body. But again, you don't want it on the inside, you just want on this outer seal here so that it helps to kind of slide in. I learned from yesterday there's pretty much no way to keep from spilling a little bit of coolant. So the other one yesterday leaked out on the floor, then ran into my knee pad and was kind of a pain in my ass. So we'll go ahead and throw the rag down ahead of time, get these coolant hoses off and keep plugging away. It's pretty much lunchtime, so I'll probably just get the coolant hoses off and plugged, maybe the fuel lines and the throttle cable, and then call it, have lunch, and pick it back up from there. Lunch break's over. You can see that one's working pretty hard today. Got the throttle body and manifold assembly about ready to come out of this. Couple bolts and a couple wires, a couple zip ties, and then I'll have that out, swap the reeds over, and then be back to reassembly. Excuse me. Stop it. Put it on the bench up there. I got it in there. So some people might wonder why I break all these free by hand first instead of just impacting them out of there or using the gun to bring them out. Anytime I'm dealing with like a cylinder head or something important that's Loctited in terms of fasteners and stuff, I like to back it out by hand until it starts to free up. That way I know it's not galling, it's not stripping, there's not anything weird going on, because if you're just impacting it, you're not really gonna know what's happening, right? You might hear the impact work a little bit harder or whatever, and then bring it out, and then find out the end of the fucking bolt pulled the threads right off with it. So I just like to get them out by hand until they start to free up, and then zip them out with the gun after that. are in there. Oh, hello, my tool! What is trash? So I got Brett's reeds all apart here, and all the inner ones, so the inner petals here, I'm calling these outers and then the inners. All the inner ones are pretty well whooped. I mean, look at these things. They're starting to de-lamb really heavy. It's crazy that this sled has 1,700 miles on it versus Tyler's with 3,300, and no, we're not even seeing anything like that on Tyler's sled. Now, Tyler's is a VR1. These two, like, you know, obviously this sled and then mine are from an Assault, and you can see mine are whooped. So I got the airbox ready to go back in. The manifold, throttle body, everything is all in. All the zip ties are connected, even that pain in the ass loop one down there. Box is back together, ready to go in. I got these greased up, like I said, on the edge, but nothing's on the inside of them. So that way this can slide right back onto the throttle body, and we'll be good to go. Prime fuel up.
He's got a tether on that thing?
Boy, busy day. So I got Brett's Assault here all wrapped up, new reeds, new manifold, everything's in, good to go, fire's right up. I got a couple small things left on this. I got to bleed and flush the brake system. And then one not so small thing, he wants me to go ahead and trim those protectors down a little bit. With the 2-inch crossover, and then he put eye grips in it, and he shortened it even to 1 3/4. It's very, very close up there. And if some of you remember on my 650, I ended up trimming the tunnel protectors on that down quite a bit. Similar scenario, that wasn't as bad. This is very, very close. So I think end of the week or maybe beginning of next week, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the protectors out of it, knock those down, take probably a 1/4 inch out at the end, and then taper that back. Either way, time to go get a workout, get some dinner, light editing. I'm not gonna edit, I'm gonna take tonight off. And then, yeah, back at it tomorrow.